Good day and welcome back to the channel. Today is a very special day. It is Father's Day. And for the Father's Day meal, for me, my choice is steak. We're doing prime filet sous vide with a Bearnaise sauce. It's going to be good. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Farm Cook channel. This is the place where you get to eat well, have fun, and hopefully learn lots, especially about low carb and keto cooking. So now, let's get ready and make some dinner. So the first step in this process was dry brining these lovely prime ribeyes that I got from Sean, the manager over at the local Safeway. Thank you. Shout out, Sean. Those have been dry brined for a couple of hours. All I'm going to do is throw these into the vacuum seal bag, which is completely unnecessary. You can do this with, if you have a sous vide cooker, you could do this with a Ziploc bag, just get all the air out. But I think the vacuum bag actually helps me. And that is a fair amount of space that's left over, but we'll deal with it. Now what we're going to do now is start. As you can tell, this is not a high-end sealer. This was $35 at Amazon a while ago. Works really, really well. It does a great job of evacuating the air, creating a nice seal, and it's terrific for not only sous vide, but also for storing things that you want to freeze for later on, or for transport. So that's it. We got a seal. Beef is ready to go. Now we just have to get the sous vide bath going. Next step in the process, get this into the water bath. Just to make sure everybody stays underwater, put on a little bit of weight, close the lid, and now we cook. This is a very inexpensive sous vide cooker from the brand that I'm using is Instant Pot. There are many, many others out there that work quite well. Had this one for several years. Does a great job of keeping the temperature regulated, circulating the water so that the food that you're cooking is cooking at that precise temperature that you set. For this application, I'm just using 123 degrees. It's pretty rare if that was it, if that was the final stage of cooking, but I'm going to finish these steaks on the grill outside to give it a better look than what comes out of the cooker. What comes out of the sous vide cooker looks terrible. It does not look yummy at all. Once it has a chance to get dried off and finished on the grill, it'll look spectacular, and even more important, it'll taste terrific. Now that we've got the steaks almost done, time to make the Bearnaise sauce. Absolutely one of my favorite things to go along with steak. What do we need? Not much. A little bit of white wine vinegar, a little bit of white wine, some shallot, and some tarragon. We're going to get this started boiling, reduce it till there's only a couple of tablespoons left, and then we'll use that infused vinegar to flavor the rest of the sauce. So here we go. So we're going to set this to a pretty high heat because the whole point of this is to reduce these liquids and infuse what's left with the wonderful shallot and tarragon flavor, and that's going to be just spectacular in the Bearnaise sauce itself. As a kid growing up, my family were very into food, no matter where we lived, and my family moved all over the place. But I distinctly remember them making steaks with Bearnaise sauce in the mid-70s. I don't think too many of the neighbors were, but they enjoyed themselves. So we're just going to let this reduce for a couple of minutes. It's going to come to a boil pretty soon. This is a small pot. We're talking about pretty small quantities of liquid. A half cup of wine, a half cup of the white wine vinegar, and that's it for the liquid. And this is a pretty small pot, so I want to make sure the heat is directly or as directly as possible underneath the bottom. I don't want the sides getting burned, but I'm going to keep moving it until it's reduced. Doesn't take long. It's starting to smell very vinegary. Just let that go for another, I don't know, 2-3 more minutes. This is smelling wonderful right now. The mixture is reduced. I think we're about ready to strain. This has been going for about 6 minutes total. So the flavors have come out into that liquid, and it's just going to provide terrific flavor for the sauce. So all I have to do now is strain it out and make sure to retain the liquids and discard the solids. I want to get all the little bits, all the good juices out. And press everything through the sieve to get out all the juicy bits. That is going to amplify the flavor of the sauce. Now this is a super rich meal. This is going to be spectacular. It's not an everyday kind of a thing, but it's Father's Day. What better way to celebrate than a terrific meal, especially something that reminds me of my dad. Unfortunately, during the time that he was alive, the ready availability of immersion blenders was not quite a thing. So I remember them struggling to make a Bearnaise sauce in a blender. Every once in a while, the sauce would break, which is not uncommon. The immersion blender really is a very useful tool for making sauce Bearnaise. So I think we're done. So this is all that's left. I don't know how much you can see of that. It's probably 2 tablespoons worth. And this is going to go into the sauce. So that's what's up next. The next part of the process, melting butter. Got everything else prepped. Got our container that the ingredients are going to go into. We've got 4 egg yolks. Just going to drop those guys in. We've got, I don't know, a couple of tablespoons of fresh tarragon. And we've got the reserved sort of vinegary syrupy stuff. And what we're going to do is get this started mixing together. And that's all that's necessary at this point. The next step in this process is adding slowly the melted butter. Once it's clarified into this mix, that'll create the sauce. We're now at the stage where the butter has melted, but it's still got the milk solids in it. And really what we want is the clarified butter. And one of the ways that you can try to save as much butter as possible is to just skim the top. You can use a like a flat ladle as well. This method of using a paper towel around the edge gets a lot of the milk solids that are on the top. It's not perfect, but it does an okay job of getting some of those solids. There's other solids on the bottom, and if you kept cooking this, that would be what would create brown butter, is those milk solids getting toasted. So what I'm doing is just trying to carefully get those yellow bits that are not clear yellow bits that are on the right near the edge of the pan. The heat is off now. Just trying to get the major pieces. And what I'm going to do is try not to disturb this too much. This is not super easy to pour in here, and we have to do this in a single steady stream. So I'm going to transfer it into this gravy boat and try and leave the solids behind. I don't know if you can see that, but there are a bunch of the solids on the bottom. So hopefully this won't make too much of a mess. And will allow me to keep some of the solids in the pan. Maybe I can try and keep some of them back this way. No, I think that's about it. And that's good stuff. I'm going to save that for another project. Now the process is just slowly add the very hot melted butter to the eggs and the tarragon and the infused vinegar. Sorry for the noise, but I think we're ready. It's very tasty. I think it needs a little salt. I didn't add any salt because the only butter that I had was salted. So I'm going to mix in a little bit of salt to hopefully bring out some of that wonderful flavor. That is very, very good. It's going to be terrific on the steaks, which are getting close to being done. But all right, welcome back. We're about ready to pull the steaks out of the sous vide cooker. So we'll just stop this. Stop that cooking time, and ooh, forgot my tongs. Oops. Those are just some weights to make sure that the protein stays submerged. What we're going to do is open these guys up. pat them dry, and then get them onto the grill, which is ripping hot. Let me just say, these guys do not look delicious. They just don't. Stuff that comes out of the sous vide looks terrible. It will look very different once we have a chance to pat it dry, mark it on the grill. It will become a very different thing. These are two gorgeous prime fillets. Again, they don't look so good right now, but just wait. So now we're ready for the final touch for these beautiful steaks, going on to a screaming hot grill that I just cleaned off. We're just going to leave them for just a couple of seconds, just to mark them up. These are very thick beasts. They can handle some time, but I really want them to get some nice color on the outside, some great caramelization. And it won't take too long with the grill set to as high as it'll go. And again, these have already been cooked in the sous vide bath to 123 degrees. So that's all the way throughout the entirety of the beef. It's at that temperature. So it's going to be a perfect rare, which is what I prefer, without being blue. So it is cooked. It's going to be wonderful. So let's see what these guys look like with a little bit of a mark. There we go. Nice little mark there. Nice little mark there. So we'll get some very nice color on it, and it'll really just sort of finish the entire thing. And what'll actually finish it will be that Bearnaise sauce that goes on top. I can't wait. There's also something special that will be part of the meal. Something I don't indulge in too often. Got a lovely 2019 Robert Mondavi Cabernet Sauvignon. Cannot wait. Beautiful crisscross marks there. Not that that means anything. It's just, you do eat with your eyes first. We're just going to keep doing that until all sides are marked, and then we'll bring it inside and enjoy. So now we get to check, did all of this work out? So you can see, looks a heck of a lot better than what it went in looking like. So I'm trying to find the grain on this to cut across. Let's see. All right, that is pretty perfect for me, the way that I like steak. It's very uniform, a little bit more done on the outside. I did give it a little extra time on the grill, but it is looking absolutely perfect. Cannot wait. So I'm going to just chop up a couple of little pieces here just to see what it's like, mixed in with the Bearnaise on the plate with a little bit of a medley of some, what is that, zucchini and some onions. Oh, and to finish with a little flake salt. And finally, a bit of the Bearnaise. Kept warm in the gravy boat. Let's give this a shot. Dry brined, prime filet, sous vide cooked, served with a Bearnaise sauce. That is pretty spectacular. Happy Father's Day, everybody. Happy Father's Day, everybody.